So, when I've been going to the store at night, I'm seeing more and more homeless people. And I have to tell them the same thing. I can't give you the attention that you deserve. Because, number one, if I see you smoking or vaping or drinking a can of alcohol, you definitely don't deserve my money. Because why would I give you money if you're just going to buy cigarettes or beer? When you should be buying a fucking granola bar or something. Or a bottle of water. And I know what you would say. Oh, well, Jesus would... I don't think Jesus would want you to be naive. Okay? What's a good analogy for that? I don't know. It's like giving a robber a gun next to a bank and expecting them not to rob a bank. Okay? If I see you smoking or drinking beer, I'm not going to give you money. I would really like to give you money, but I can't be sure that you're going to use it for fucking food or water. Okay? How do I know all this? Well, I tried to give this guy money, and he said, "Oh, I just want to get a glass of beer." No, you're not gonna get a fucking beer from me. If you're homeless, that's the last thing you need to be drinking is beer. And then there was this other homeless person fucking bullshitting me. He was like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to get myself something to hold me over to the night. You know, I got a condition," and he's fucking smoking. No, I'm not going to do that for you. Nuh-uh. And that's another thing, too. These people are probably addicted to drugs, some of them. You know? How do I know the money that I'm going to give you is not going to go to drugs? I don't know. Because, A, it's not my business, and I don't really care. All of this is because we live in a low-trust society, okay? We live in a low-trust society. I would give you money, but the other homeless people have set a bad example for you. And another thing why I don't give the homeless people money is because it just enables it. It doesn't solve anything. You're just enabling the issue. Like, I get it feels good to give homeless people money, like it makes you feel like a good person, but you don't know what that money's going to. And I know what you might be saying. Well, it's not like it's going to anyone but a homeless person. What's a homeless person going to do? Well, I'm not worried about what the homeless person is going to do. I'm worried about what he's not going to do. He's probably not going to go get a bottle of water. He's probably not going to go get a granola bar or something. He's probably going to go get a pack of cigarettes. Or he's going to do drugs. Because you have to make really, really bad decisions in your life to be homeless anyway. Like, I know what you're going to say. Oh, well, some things just happen to people. Yeah, and you don't have anyone else in your life? Like, you would probably have to cut ties with everybody in your life for you to end up on the streets. Like, you're telling me you have absolutely nobody to go to. And by the way, these homeless people, and I know, where people would rather not be there. It's kind of dangerous. You should be maybe at a soup kitchen, like finding your way to a soup kitchen or a homeless camp, you know, where they at least try to take care of you a little bit instead of begging for money. So, I mean, you can't even help people without thinking it's a scam or a trap. You know, you can't even report a dead body without thinking that it's going to be a trap. You know, you see some guy in a back alley laying by a dumpster, and then you go to the body to investigate and see what's wrong, and then people jump out of the dumpster to rob you. You can't even meet a girl at a spot to go on a date without a bunch of that are gonna rob you. A bunch of fucking that are gonna rob you. You can't even... I mean, we just live in a low-trust society, okay? I mean, really just let that sink in. Low-trust society. I had this guy once come up to me wanting me to fill out a form and donate to something. But you don't really even know where that money's going to go. You could be making a donation on a site, and it could be going to a bunch of terrorists. You don't even know where the money's going to go. It could be going to fucking terrorists. Right? Because you don't care. You don't track where the money goes. You just try to make yourself feel good and say, here, have some money. I'm sure it's going to go to a good cause. You know, I would love to be that guy that's generous with his money to the poor. But unfortunately, most of the poor people don't make good decisions. And they're not trustworthy with my money. So, just let that sink in. Low trust society. Yeah, I was helped once. I was helped. I'm pretty bad at math. So they put me in a class last semester where it was just you sitting on a fucking computer program, not learning anything. You get on the computer, you log in, and you do fucking problems until class is over. And the professor's just sitting there in the corner, not doing anything. Yeah, no wonder people are bad at math, because they're just sitting there doing nothing. They don't really care. No wonder people are cheating. It's because they're not getting help. And what are they going to do? Not pass the class? Give me a break. Well, you have to do it yourself. There's no incentive. And what am I going to fucking school for? To be a mathematician? No. I'm gonna send my kid to college so he can learn mathematician. He can learn math. How do you know what's going to be important in 20 years? How do you know that this bullshit class that I'm taking is going to be worth anything after I'm done with it? This is why we have calculators. This is why people have invented machines. Because it's not fucking efficient for people to be sitting there figuring out equations when we can get them done with a snap of our fingers. Sure, you need to know how to add numbers and subtract and divide and multiply and count money. But quadratic formula, worthless much? Go, I dare you, go in the comments right now and give me one good use of the quadratic formula. And don't tell me if it's because you want to be a math professor. Give me an everyday use of the quadratic formula, or x plus y to the power of 2 is equal to f of x minus bullshit, minus piece of shit, minus horse shit. Give me an everyday use of that. It's going to take you about 5 minutes, because there's not a fucking common use of it besides being a fucking professor. And if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I would love to know. I would hope that I'm wrong. Please let me be wrong. So that I have motivation to learn. So that's basically it. Low Trust Society. Another thing I thought of. Nobody has any incentive to date. I'm usually the person starting conversations. And no, it's not because, oh, you're just weird. People probably don't like you. You probably give off a bad vibe. You don't know me. And yeah, you watch my YouTube videos and you think I'm this strange person with strange opinions, but you don't know who I am outside of this channel. So if you're the type to be like, oh, you probably just give off bad vibes, you're probably not good with women, you're probably this and that, you're probably X, Y, and Z. Fuck you. You don't know who I am. And I'm not talking about myself. Okay? The only thing I will say is that I'm the one that usually finds myself starting conversations. With both genders, by the way. And people actually want to talk to each other. They're just scared. They're just scared. Like, once I start to talk to people and they start to open up, you can usually talk to each other every day after that. Like, if you just open up to people and act friendly and act like you want to have a conversation with people, then you can then you can have conversations, maybe get to know people. But people are so they're so alone. And they don't want to be alone, but they're also scared of interacting with other people, especially the opposite gender. It's like, just start a conversation, just make a joke or something. But people are so just stuck on their phones, and they're just looking down. They're not looking up at anyone else. Nobody even says hello as they're passing by. People just want to mind their own business. Alright, bro. Put that in a comment, and I'm deleting it. Put that as a comment in my section, and I'm deleting it. Oh, people are just minding their own business. Yeah, no shit. They're minding their own business, and they're not... That doesn't contradict my point. My point is that people are just so trapped in their own technology. They don't want to get out of their comfort zone. And people have just been trained to just not say anything, just be on their phones and leave other people alone. And people probably socialize more online than they do IRL. And I'm making observations. I'm not just guessing this. This is because of observations. Because nobody talks to each other. People just sit next to other people, right next to other people, and don't even look at them. They don't even look at each other. You could find your soulmate. I don't believe in a fucking soulmate, but you could find your quote-unquote soulmate right next to you, but you choose to do nothing. You choose to just doom scroll on social media. You choose to just go on the weather app to make it look like you're busy on your phone. No wonder people feel alone. It's because people have been trained by the internet and technology to just isolate themselves. And you know what has caused that? You know what's caused that? People are more divided than ever. People just hate each other for no reason because of small differences. Political, economic, class, gender. I know that guy. Fucking religion. If you get to know people, we usually believe in the same stuff, mostly. We kind of all want the same thing in life. We all want to succeed. We all want to be loved. We all want to have our own stuff. We all want a system that we can depend on to govern, even though we know that's not going to be possible. We all sort of want the same things. We all want to be free to do whatever we want, which, if you think about it enough, doesn't even make sense, because we're really not free. But you know what I'm saying. We usually all share the same goals and beliefs. We are so divided by the internet and the manufactured issues created by governments that are run by satanic cults. Because it's all about the destruction of the human soul. It's all about severing our connection with Jesus. It's about severing the human connection. And I fear that there will be no solution other than God. But more and more people are non-believers of God because of government bullshit that they spew out. It's manufactured. I mean, it's not holy. It's literally unnatural, the way that these dark forces try to sever our connection with God. If it was holy or natural at all, it would not exist. People would just believe in God because people open their eyes. But people are so drawn in by dark forces, by manufactured crises, by manufactured issues that are created to divide us. We live in a system that divides us. I'm going a little schizo here, but hopefully you can understand the big picture. We live in a low-trust society, okay? This is low-trust society. So, that's another thing. And don't get me started on the dating. Oh, dating is like almost impossible because, first of all, the dating sites suck because you're not really getting to know these people. You're just judging them based on looks and whatever kind of bullshit they put in their profile. And you can just, it's like a supermarket. Oh, you don't like that? Go to the next item. Oh, I don't like the ingredients. Okay, next item. It's like, oh, this banana isn't ripe enough. Okay, this tomato isn't ripe enough. This apple isn't ripe enough for me. It's not good enough. Because you're not really even getting to know them. You know, some bananas are good with some dark spots. You know? Oh, I bet that construction worker has some muscle under all that safety equipment. Or I bet, you know, under all that, he could probably help me fix my dishwasher or something. Oh, I bet he could lift heavy things. You know, I bet, you know what I'm saying, right? People, people have been divided by the internet and the government to not like each other. Oh, it's all men's fault. Oh, it's all women's fault. Yeah, no wonder the dating scene is shit, because we're programmed to hate each other. And back to the dating sites, it's just people looking at profiles and if they don't appear to check off all the boxes, the unrealistic boxes that you have in your head, then, no, I guess they're just not good enough to date me. How entitled. Oh, they don't fit my standards. I mean, all I did was look at his internet profile on a dating site. All I did was look at his picture and determined that this person was not good enough for me. You never even heard his voice. You never even met him. You just looked at him. And I'm talking about regular people. I'm not talking about fat, ugly people. I'm talking about normal-looking people. And I'll get to that in a second. Normal-looking people. Oh, he's not good enough because I looked at his profile and it said XYZ ABC. Fuck you. And I know you're probably writing in the comment section, well, what do you have against fat people? What do you have against people? First of all, people don't want to date fat, ugly people who don't take care of themselves, or don't appear to take care of themselves. Because if you don't appear to take care of yourself, you probably can't take care of me, or a child. I don't even want kids, but that's a factor. If you don't look like you can take care of yourself, you can't take care of my offspring. Or you're not even worth me taking care of you. Or what if I need to depend on you for something? You probably can't even take care of me. Oh, don't judge a book by its cover. Oh yeah, I can judge a book by its cover. If there's there's some fucking fat, ugly bitch with blue hair or whatever, I don't want to fucking date you. You probably have some strange leftoid beliefs that don't match up with reality. If you're some fat, ugly fuckhead with a Trump hat, you probably have some unrealistic beliefs that don't match up with society. Oh, that's another thing. That's another thing, too. Is that people have been divided by the internet and the government. Well, if you don't like this shape of person, then you're Xist, then you're Yist, then you're Zist. The list goes on and on. I must be the worst fucking person in the world for not liking absolutely everything. Oh, you don't like fat people? You must be fat phobic. Oh, you're not attracted to trans people? You must be transphobic. Oh, you're not attracted to this, that? You must be phobic this, phobic that. Fuck you. How about that? Fuck you. And people are getting away. People are getting away with it. You know why? Because people like this get into positions of power. And then they get to dictate what things people like, what things are funded, what things are legal, what things are allowed, this and that. Just the worst kind of people put in positions of power and given opportunities they don't deserve. Something related to that would be these fucking going in for job interviews. And you can fill in the blanks with whatever you fucking want, because I'm not even gonna say. It could be just a fucking NPC, a troglodyte, a goober, a nincompoop, a fucking goblin, just anybody. People just hire anybody. People just elect anybody. If I were a manager, person that has to run a business, so that I could pay people, so that I could pay actual real players, real people, so that they can go home and feed their family, or most importantly, so that I can have a living, I would not give an interview to anybody to anybody that doesn't dress up properly for an interview. Oh, well, people just don't have the money for clothes. Go to the fucking thrift store and go buy a polo shirt and some khaki pants. And get a piece of paper and make a resume. You don't even need a printed out resume. Just write down, if you don't have a printer and if you can't afford ink, get a pencil. Get a pencil. Go ask somebody for a pencil. They give out free pens and pencils at businesses. Go get a fucking pencil for free. And you could probably get a fucking piece of paper too. You could get a piece of paper. Preferably one that comes out of a notebook or that relatively the same size. A blank piece of paper or something. And write down a resume. Write down your skills. Write down what you're good at, places that you've worked at, all the information that you would need to put on a resume. And pull up to a business with some khaki pants, a polo shirt, and look reasonable. Clean yourself. Don't have some fucking fucked up crazy ass hair. Because that's another thing too. People will just present themselves like shit and expect people to take them serious in a professional setting. They just hire anybody. They just hire fucking anybody. And they don't fire them either, which is why businesses go down in the dumps, which is why prices rise, because they're not meeting the good enough efficiency to get things done. The good players have to pick up their slack and work harder because of these fuckers. They don't take interviews seriously. They don't take their own life seriously, which results in not taking their profession seriously. Which is evident because they don't work hard. They don't care enough to get the job done. They do half a job. They don't care to get the job done. They don't care about how they look in the professional setting, which negatively affects the business. Why would I go in a business where everyone acts unprofessionally? Why? Why would I go back there just to get some fucking mid-tier customer service? Which is another thing. Another thing is that customer service just sucks. People don't care anymore. And these fucking boomers and these Gen Xers are like, well, nobody gives customer service anymore. Yeah, it's not like how it was back in your day. Okay? And by the way, your little conversation with the girl at the front is not going to change anything. Your little conversation about, nobody gives customer service anymore, and your little comments about anything that they're doing that could be improved is going to change anything, because people are not paid enough to care. They're not paid enough to care at their shit little customer service job. If they were paid enough, they'd probably have better incentive to get to act better. It just goes right back to the main point. We live in a low trust society. Low trust society, where people just steal stuff. People just steal stuff. People just steal stuff because of the fucking self-checkout. Nobody guards the self-checkout good enough. They like fake swipe it and walk out. And nobody... Who the fuck is going to sit there and watch everybody at the self-checkout? When you walk out, they're not even checking receipts. Like, I literally show people the receipts so that it doesn't look like I'm stealing. I guess I didn't need to do that because he wasn't even looking. He wasn't even looking to check. He just looked. That's the worst part. They just look at you. They just look at you and do nothing. They just say, have a nice day. Or you don't want to check my receipt? Oh, yeah, I'll check your receipt. You have to remind them to do their own job. God, man. Somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Yeah, I did. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. Who hurt you? I'll tell you, I'll give you a few names. So, just to wrap things up here, I just say all this because I just look at the world around me and I make observations, and things just need to be said. Things just need to be said. Okay? I have a mouth and I must fucking scream. Alright? People, I mean, you go into the grocery store. People they look like shit, they act like shit, they talk like shit, they buy shit. And they just say shit too. That's the best place to look at where society is headed is at a grocery store. Because you can see how these people dress, how these people act, because they act. People just get greedy, and what's that sin? People are just what is it? What is it? It's on the tip of my tongue. God. I had to look up what that meant, and it was gluttony. People are just greedy and gluttonous whenever they go into the store. And you can, once again, you can see how these people dress, what they eat, just the amount of crap they're willing to buy and eat. Imagine, like, you can look at people's carts and you can just imagine, why are people just eating that? I mean, imagine all that going into your midsection, man. All that disgusting fucking food. And you might be saying, well, people can only afford to eat this stuff. Dude. Once again, people make bad decisions and they stay poor. They just stay poor, which is why they're still eating this stuff, because they don't care enough. They don't care enough. Okay? So, just be quiet with that. People can only afford to... If you can't afford a quart of milk or a fucking orange, one orange or one apple for breakfast every day, or just get those little cups of Honey Nut Cheerios. I don't know. I'm just blurting stuff out. Like, just get yourself an orange and a cup of yogurt for breakfast. If you can't afford that, then I don't know what to tell you, man. You might have to work on yourself. I think that's a you problem. That's not a, we need more of other people's money problem. That's a you problem, man. So, people just, and they act like shit too. I mean, why do I have to hear you from the other side of the store? Hey man, how you doing? Hey, I'm doing good. What you doing? Ah! Go up to each other and have a conversation. Stop yelling at each other. And people, yeah. I'm just repeating the same stuff. People act like shit, talk like shit, dress like shit, eat shit. And the whole kit and caboodle. So, that's All of this is why we live in a low trust society. Catch y'all next time back on the flip side. Peace out.